Option number 2, print as before, means like a from A and from B. So which is means you can put the output on your chat box. Option 1 or option 2. What is this option 5?
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
So still you didn't understand the concept of this. Whether it's an option 1 or option 2. There will be no difference because I have been created from the class A object. So now when I'm calling with that particular object, so you'll get that particular property documents, right? So now when I created an object A, means for the class, so I'll be getting on this. Now with the class B object, I was calling this one, it will print me this. Now if I commented this one, so now what you need to understand is the object creation is the most important thing here. So with the class A object, if I created an accessed, it will be getting this particular methods. With the class B objects, if I'm calling this one, it will bring you that particular class B objects with that particular methods. Now here, if I commented this one, now if I accessed this, now what it will be printing me? From the class B or from the class A? Because this add methods, as this is extended, now I can access class B methods also, right? So now the class B, so class A methods also I can access. Now the class A methods are these two, right?
Yes, sir.
So now these both are the class A methods, method 1 and method 2. So which is in from the class. So method 1 and the method 2, I'll be getting it from the class A. So now I have been accessed this one because now this particular object, as it is inherited, it can access the parent class methods also. Now this particular add method and sub method is present in the parent class and even in the child class also. Now which methods would be print for me? Class A methods or class B methods?
Class B, sir. Class B, sir. Because the object has created for the class B.
See, now once again you need to understand that it is not that as it is extended the class A, it can access all the class A methods also and class B methods also. In class A also I have add method and class B also have add method. So now if I execute this one, will it print me from the class B or will it print me from the class A?
B, sir. From class B.
Class B.
So this is called overriding. So now here I don't need to have the class name as this is extended. Now, second thing is this is called method overriding. Now, the definition for this one, you just try to understand. If I have a parent class and a child class, in a parent class, I have similar methods. Means you need to give the example. So always you remember when you're talking on this particular things, you give with an example. I have an add and sub method in my parent class, and I have a child class. Okay, means as I'm referring it as a parent class and child class, it have the concept of inheritance implementation. So the child class has been extended to the parent class. Now I'll be having the same method name, same number of parameters, same data types, but different implementations. The child class method will overrides the parent class method. So now if you executed this one, so the child class method overrides the parent class method, then this is called method overriding. See, it's a simple definition to say that child class method overriding the parent class method in inheritance, then this is called polymorphism. In polymorphism, so we will in this particular polymorphism we'll be taking care on this method overriding. So guys, just give me 1 minute. Hey, I mean just a training session. Can I complete this one and then call you back? Absolutely, I'll do that. Okay. Aarti, you there?
Yes, sir.
Aarti, just schedule a meeting at 11 to 11:30 with the Vinian. So just you can pass this information to Saujanya, so she will do that. That's
Okay, sir.
important. So this
Okay,
is you can give her the gaming company which we have been sent a invitation. So schedule that meeting at 11 to 11:30.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So coming back here, so now you can see that this is where this particular definition for this particular overriding you can derive it. And always you remember, don't give the theoretical definition. You can say that, hey, there are two classes. In a class A, I have a method name called add and subtract. And in class B, I have a method called add and subtract. Now, there is a relation between this particular class A and class B, as it means class A is extended from the class B. Now, this is parent and this child. Now, when I created an object, as this is a non-static methods, when I created an object and try to access these particular methods, now what it will do is it will it will print the B class methods, as this particular B class methods overrides the parent class methods as this is extended. So this is called method overriding. So this is the way you can present for it. Now, what is overloading? So in the same the overloading, it is a pretty simple thing. Like in the same class, having the same method name with the different parameters or with the different data types, if you have it, so then this is called method overloading. Example, in the class A, I have add method with two numbers. With two parameters I'm passing it, int A, comma, int B. Now I'll be having another method called add. Now here this add will take three numbers, int A, comma, int B, comma, int C. So now this particular thing have the means having with the same name with a different number of parameters, or you can have with a different data types also. So this is called method overloading. So this is how you need to explain that what is method overriding and method overloading. So this is the basic difference between this both. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Now, let me ask you this question here. What is the output for this? Will this particular methods come from the A or from the B? From which class you will be getting these two methods? The output comes from the class A or class B?
Class A, sir.
Class
The
A,
first
sir.
one from
Class
class
A.
A.
Class A, sir.
And
First
these
one
two things are from
B.
class B.
B, sir.
okay. Now let me create
So, like, if that is a static method,
talking about this. Go ahead and ask.
sir, actually, can we remove this class A dot hub? I mean, class A.
Absolutely right.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
static, and then that's a parent relation, right? You can absolutely
Okay,
remove
sir.
that. So now what I have did is I created the class C. Okay. Now with this class C, okay. Okay. Add this one. Now what this will print? Class B methods or class A methods?
Class B, sir.
Class B.
Are we sure?
So both class A and class B, class A and class B methods. Sure, sir.
I'm asking that if I execute this one, what it will print?
Class B methods only.
Class B. B, sir.
Okay, give me the
Class B.
so just print in your chat whether it prints the class B methods or class A methods. Why it prints the class B methods? Kibanjana.
Because sir, class B is extending to class C. So class B here is the parent class and class C is the child class.
Hmm.
So that's why when you are calling the method from class B, it will be printed from class B.
But here I'm not calling from the class B, right? See now here there is an extension.
No,
See now, so if you can see here, B extends A and C extends B. That means this is coming like this. So A extended by B and this is extended by C.
sir, in the class B definition, is it extending from class A?
Yes.
So then originally, if the method is in class A, it will be called from class A only.
See now what is my question is, if I created an object for the class C and
Mm-hmm.
call this add method,
In this case, it will be printed from class A.
everyone printed class B, then why?
Sir, I answered because I didn't know that in class B it was also extending from class A. I forgot that point.
Okay, so anyone wanted to change the answer?
The answer is class B, sir.
Class B, because it will override, sir. As you now discussed, the child class B will override the method of parent class A, and we'll get the output of B. and as C is not having any methods of its own, so it will print what is there in B.
Yes, sir. There is no overridden method in the class C. That's why it will call the overridden method of class B.
Yes, sir. Once the property of grandfather belongs to father, then we call it father's property. No, not the grandfather property. That's like overridden.
So this will print the class B, not class A. Deepanjana, you are not following the session. You need to see, it is pretty simple, right? This is what we have been discussed. As this is, now you can see it, right? It is calling from the class B. Now what it was happening is, the child class, this child class has been overridden the parent class. Now the best example, even though if you're getting from the grandfather property to your, when it comes to your father, you'll say that this is from my father property, not from my grandfather's property, right? So now this all things has been overridden here, and then it can be accessed. And one more wrong answer which we have been discussed is, now what this particular sub will print and what this sub will print. What is this sub, friends? This from class A or class B?
Class
And from this class or
Class
class
B.
A, class B?
Class B,
Class
both
B.
of them.
So this is from class
Sir.
B.
and this one?
Class B. as well.
Class B.
Class A or class B?
Class B, sir.
B. B.
So it doesn't know anything. So as this is already overridden, now you can see that everything it's come from the class B. See, this is where the people try to confuse you with the different questions. See, now if you see here, I asked you a very few. But with this particular overloading, overriding, with this particular methods accessing, we can have a number of things we can ask you on this. When you go for interfaces, you're gone. So these concepts you have to be very much clear, so that only we can go for that. But by this itself, we can sense that whether you understood the concepts or not. So now what we discussed, inheritance, polymorphism. And the polymorphism, method overloading, method overriding. And we can, when we go for this one, so the inheritance, there are other inheritances, right, where we discuss about that. So there we can clearly understand all this. But however, so did we understood? So now actually it can be means completed in this here itself. But wantedly I extended for the class C and then shown that how this will be accessed. So now how means this particular overrides works. This is the concept around the override. Clear? Any questions? Any questions in overriding?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So once again saying that now whatever the things which we discussed here, you need to do the practice. So once you do this particular practice, so definitely then only you will understand, or else you will not understand this particular topics. Okay. Any more questions?
Sir, in the first method, class A obj class A is equals to new class A, where if we change the constructor class B, then it will call the class B method, right?
Don't go down that one.
Okay, sir.
That I'll discuss later. So you're talking about the upcasting. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to do this. So
Yes,
don't
sir.
do this now. If you do this, you're gone now. Don't go for that. So this is called the concept of upcasting.
Okay, sir.
So that upcasting I'll talk about after the interfaces, because now first of all you need to understand the interfaces concept, then only you need to go for the upcasting. Actually complete, I'm telling you, right, if you understand this statement, because this, when you go for the interfaces and those things, it will change. And doing this upcasting, so those things, if you clearly understand, then you can go ahead. So don't mix up this now, it will confuse you. And so this one
Okay,
with the
sir.
same. Okay, any other questions? See, you see, questions means only pertaining towards your method overriding. Don't go for other questions. Are you clear with these topics?
Sir, I have doubt here. Actually, in the Java 8, I'm not able to override the static methods. But here I'm not showing any error, seeing any error here.
This is Java 17, right?
Yes.
But actually, even in 8 also, I remember it will override, right? Why? The concept will not change.
Yeah.
Why you're getting that? You have the live implementation with you?
No, sir. As of now, I don't have it.
Just check out, because the concept will never change, either it's an 8 or 9, so 17.
Yeah.
See, probably we might give, say now, before we did it, right? We created a static method and then calling with an object, or non-static method with a normal way. So that's a slight mistakes usually do it. So you should know what exactly that method and then call that. It will not happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Any other pointers?
Yeah, Krish, got me here. After extending from class A to B, if you wanted to call non-static variable into the static method, so obviously we need to create an object to call a non-static variable to the static, right?
No, I
So
didn't
I'll
understand your question. Can you show me the implementation?
yeah.
Because if you misspell one small thing wrong as a static or non-static or these things, then the complete question will go wrong. So show me the
If I
implementation and
share
ask
the
this one.
screen, so it will get muffled in my voice. That's a problem. All the time, whenever I'm sharing it, could not hear. Here I'm talking about. So if I've already created object in the main method. So, but still it was asking to, create an object if you want to call an static method into a static method of this particular marks one, which is like non-static variable.
See, you need to understand one point, Gautami. So now that line number 12 to 20, this is absolutely the scope for this particular method 5. This is not main method. Now the object which you have been created, the line number 13, the scope of this one lies between from line number 12 to 20. UT means, and then after this particular thing, the ref one, it will be completely invalid, right? The scope of this particular object lies only here, because that's an independent method which have been created in the 12.
Okay.
So line number 2, this particular method 5. This is not main method. So now 22
That
is what
means
your main
whatever
method.
okay, so whatever we have created in the objects which is pertaining to main method, that in that particular braces only we'll be able to access it, not it access to the other methods, is it?
Absolutely right. Now, see, now we discussed local variables and global variables. You remember?
Yeah, global variables I understood, but local variables I have a little bit confusion on it.
What is there? See, for an example, stop sharing the screen. See, now this is a class A. Okay. So now this is these variables which have been created, not in the method. So the scope of this one will be for the entire class. So this is called the global variables. Now, if I created a variable inside this one, so now the scope of this one lies over here. So this is called local variable. Now, I wanted to create an object, means this particular creation of the object. Now, when I wanted to create this particular object, what usually we do, so we go for this particular, usually we are creating in the main class, in the main method. In the main method, we are creating that class A obj equal to new class A. So this is how we are creating it, right? And then obj dot. So now whatever the non-static methods are there, so we will be calling that, right? So this is how we are calling this. Now what I can do is, now this particular class, this particular object also lies the scope of this particular braces. So now this is local object. Now if you wanted to create the global object, what we need to do? Remove this from here and create here. Now you can access this particular obj anywhere else, wherever you wanted. Just give me. Because static can access only static. So now I have been defined this one as a global object, so that this object I can access in any methods also. So for example, this is a non-static method, right? Here I can go obj dot, and I can call this add method. That's it. Else, if I have been created only the object here, obj1, okay. So now I can call this with this obj1. This obj1 I can't access here because this is not created. If you see here, this scope of this particular obj1 is between this, and the scope of this one between this. So that's the reason in any method you can call this one. But for this one, this obj1, the scope of this one is this. So this is called local object creation or local variables. And this is called global object creations or local global variables. Means global means it can be accessed in any method. So you'll be having right international debit card and domestic card. So you can roam anywhere in India. So that would be domestic. But if you wanted to go international and domestic, so you should have an international debit card. Same, that's a global and then local. So now the local means it's pertained for only that respective to method. Outside this method, you can't use this particular obj. If you go for any other method and try to call that one, it will not allow you. It will throw you the error message. So this is the difference between the local objects and then global objects. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes, yes, thank you. So, and the another thing, so which
Sir,
I
I have
implemented
one
that
more
particular
doubt.
program. So as you said, when you extend from class A to class B, so it will fetch only the class B because it's already extended the properties are from class A. And but when I implemented program here, it's even showing an output even from class A as well.
Show me the program and ask of me.
I'm referring to this particular code. So actually, I've given, I've extended from child to parent.
is your question?
Print 3, which is method 3, print method 3, which is from child 1. So but it, when we extended, it was not supposed to print this, right? We'll have to get the output which is pertaining to class B itself, which is from here to here. So the output which is class B related to this print A, print grade A till distinction.
Okay, I think Gautami, you have a lot of confusion. Do one thing. Anyways, this video will be pasted back into the repository or into the YouTube channel. You see the same video again, then you will understand this. So you are getting confused. It is printing as expected only. There is nothing big differences there. So now when you have been created this method 3, okay, method 3 belongs to the child class or parent class?
It's from child class.
Absolutely, that is where it will print the child class, right? Even if it is from when the parent class, it will never print. So that is a concept of this one, right?
No, I'm sorry. So method 3, which is belongs to parent class. So I'll show you even the parent class as well.
Okay, do one thing. So anyways, you'll be having your buddies, right? So just talk to them, and then even still, if it is not yet clarified, so tomorrow you can ask them the question.
Okay, fine.
Any other questions?
So can I declare that static variable inside the main method? Like I'm getting one error, illegal modifier.
Share
So
the screen.
yeah, I can share the screen. So if you can see my screen right now, I'm not sure why I'm getting this error. I mean, here, if you can see inside the main method, illegal modifier, only final is permitted. I don't know what I'm doing a mistake here. I just tried for this static variable inside the main method. As we give a non-static variable inside a main method, the same way. Hello?
Okay, you didn't define. Okay, uncomment that particular line number 16.
16. Okay. Again, I'll get the same error, sir.
Hold on, just hold on. Okay. So now, what you wanted to do is you wanted to do the sum and then you wanted to store. So define this one as public static for the line number 17 also.
Okay, sir.
Keep it in front of all three.
Okay.
So now, remove that particular static in front of line number 9.
Okay, sir.
Okay, just forward now. Okay, remove this public static in front of all three.
Okay, sir.
Define them. Okay, let's do one thing. Control Z.
Control?
Control Z.
Okay.
Yes, to the previous state.
Okay.
Cut the line from 16 to 18.
Okay.
And declare it as a global.
Okay. I won't get the error, sir. I have tried this.
And what was your requirement?
Not a requirement. My question here is, for example, in this main, I declare variables like this, like int a equal to 20. So in the same manner, I should be able to declare a static variable int a equal, not int a, int c equal to 900 or something, but I get this warning. So why is it so that only final is permitted?
So you need to understand what is the final keyword for that one. So because what is static? Where the static variables will store?
Static variables will store in the permgen memory.
So now it's a common pool memory, right? What is final keyword?
Final
Okay,
keyword.
so final anyways, we didn't discuss. That's the reason I'm giving you the answer. The final keyword is nothing but you can't change that particular value again. If you add in front of this int c as a final, it will not throw you that error message. Why it will not throw you the error messages? What it was trying to let you know is define this one as a final. Final means you can't change that value. You define it in such a way so that you can access in that.
Okay. Okay.
So
I
when you
am
understand, don't
I will
worry.
read it, sir. Yeah.
So if you understand what is final, then you can understand this answer. So just hold on till we come for that final keyword. There you will understand all
Okay,
this.
sir.
Because
Okay, sir.
if the static can change continuously. So now if you're changing the static value continuously, it will impact in all the places. So that is the reason what it will try to say is don't change this particular value. It is enforcing you not to change that particular static values. Non-static values you can change. So that is the reason it will not throw you error if it is non-static variables. But static values, if you're changing, it will impact your entire program. So that is the reason it will ask you to make it final and then use it. So that concept, so don't get confused with that. So we'll discuss this.
Okay, sir.
Because until
Okay,
unless
sir,
you understand the implementation of final, you will not understand this. When you come to that
okay,
keywords,
sir.
we will discuss on that.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
fine,
Thank
guys.
you.
Then I need to jump
Thank
for a
you.
meeting. Means whatever your questions you have. So first, I see now you will be in the state of mind that you will have a lot of questions.